Today is September 10th, which is on average the peak of hurricane season. You notice our graph here showing after the peak, at least typically the activity does decrease, but it's kind of been a little bit of an odd hurricane season. We have no tropical activity in the Atlantic right now and not expecting any over the next 7 days. So fairly quiet conditions, but as we continue to go through the rest of September, it may start to ramp up just a little bit in our forecast. This would be September 17th through September 23rd, so this would be a little bit farther out, at least according to the Climate Prediction Center. A moderate chance for some development here off the Cape Verde Islands, and then a low chance of development through parts of the Atlantic, even over towards the Gulf and near the Bay of Campeche. So something we'll continue to monitor. We do expect the tropics to become a little bit more active. We do have some very dry air in place, Saharan dust helping hold down the activity, and we also have some wind shear that is preventing the development as well. So at this point, we've had 6 named storms, only 1 hurricane, and that hurricane was a major hurricane, Hurricane Aaron. The last named storm was Ferdinand. The next one will be Gabrielle. Back here at home, pollen forecast. Medium to high range, ragweed and grasses causing some seasonal allergy issues. No issues with these pictures here. Some images from our WLTX weather watchers, some good looking shots here. We always do appreciate you guys sharing what you're seeing or what you're growing outdoors. Some pictures from our Gandy's Gardeners page. Again, you can join us on those Facebook pages, Gandy's Gardeners and WLTX Weather Watchers. If you are going to be going outdoors over the next few days, that UV index will be very high. So you can burn in about 20 minutes or so. Make sure you're protecting your skin, and it's so dry, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, even though it's not very hot. Our hottest day so far was Friday. We made it all the way up to 94 degrees. The coolest was September 3rd, and September 6th we picked up nearly a ½ inch of rainfall, with a lot of that falling in the downtown Columbia area. Kind of delayed the South Carolina game over the weekend. But 80 degrees yesterday, a little bit below average, and as you can tell from our rainfall monthly totals here, not a lot. It's been very dry. We'll get an update on the drought status tomorrow, but I do expect the drought to have expanded a little bit across the Palmetto State. So 87 degrees, our average low is 67. Today we're shooting for a high of about 85 degrees. The records will be safe for one more year. 99 degrees set in 1939, and 45 that was set in 1956. Sunset will be at 7:37. Here's how our forecast model kind of sees things over the next few days. High pressure firmly in control of our weather, so no major changes, as that high towards our north is going to help bring down this slightly cooler, slightly drier air. We'll have a little bit of a breeze out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Moisture tries to move in from the east here, but it's so dry at the surface, would not expect any kind of rainfall at this point. Even as we go into Thursday and Friday, looks like we'll have dry conditions, and that's going to carry us on into the weekend at this point, dry weather. I will say there are some differences in the longer term models though. This is the European forecast model showing dry conditions Thursday through Tuesday, but the American forecast model shows a little bit of a different scenario, or it did. This is the latest update, I guess. It did show a little bit of a different scenario, showing some rainfall developing due to a coastal low moving onshore. So that's something we'll kind of watch. These models, the farther they go out, they do change a little bit. But as far as rainfall totals are concerned over the next 7 days, the Weather Prediction Center is indicating just trace amounts along the coastal region and maybe in the upstate of South Carolina as well. Here's your Midlands forecast. High temperatures in the low to mid 80s with a good bit of sunshine. We will have those breezes out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows tonight falling into the upper 50s and low 60s, about where we dropped to earlier today. And kind of looking ahead, maybe if you're heading over towards Atlanta to watch Clemson take on Georgia Tech, noon kickoff, temperatures right at 80 degrees, a little bit of a breeze out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. A little bit closer to home, Bethune-Cookman at South Carolina State, 6 p.m. kickoff. Looking for a temperature of about 83 degrees as Bethune-Cookman comes to town. East Carolina at Coastal Carolina Brooks Stadium, 75 degrees for that 7:30 kickoff. And Vanderbilt coming to town, take on the Gamecocks. Williams-Brice Stadium, 7:45, with temperatures in the mid-70s under mostly clear skies. Here's our 7-day forecast. Low to mid-80s today, mid to upper 80s Thursday and Friday. We'll go mid-80s on Saturday, and then things start to warm up into the upper 80s, low 90s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Once again, the American model did show a little bit of rain developing by Tuesday, but that's something we'll have to kind of continue to monitor over the next few days. Myrtle Beach forecast does show that very small chance of rain on Tuesday. Weekend forecast in the low 80s for Charleston over the weekend, and Greenville, mid 80s on Saturday, mid to upper 80s on Sunday, warming up into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees on Monday. And we do expect warmer than normal conditions September 17th through September 23rd, and wetter than normal conditions during that same time frame. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed we can get some much needed rainfall, because it has been very dry over the past couple of weeks.